Welcome to Monsters, Legends, and Conspiracies, where we journey into the shadows of folklore, uncover the mysteries of history, and question the boundaries of reality. I'm Sarah, and today we are heading to the forests and riverbanks of Missouri to explore a creature so elusive, so terrifying, that it's earned the nickname Momo, the Missouri Monster. Imagine Bigfoot, but with a face shrouded in darkness, glowing orange eyes, and a stench so foul it could clear a room. Yeah, this is a cryptid you'll want to meet. Just not in the wild. Get comfortable, turn the lights low, and let's dive into the legend of the Missouri Monster. Our story begins in the early 1970s in the small town of Louisiana, Missouri. For those who don't know, Louisiana is a picturesque place nestled along the Mississippi River. It's the kind of town where everyone knows everyone, and nothing much out of the ordinary happens. Until July 11th, 1972. On that day, two young boys, Terry and Wally Harrison, were playing in their backyard near Marzoff Hill. They noticed something unusual in the edge of the woods. A tall, hulking figure covered in dark, shaggy hair. But this wasn't just any Bigfoot-like creature. According to the boys, its face was obscured, almost as if it had no distinct features, except for its glowing orange eyes that stared right at them. It also carried a dead dog, which only added to their terror. The boys screamed, and their older sister, Doris, came running. She saw it too, a monster standing at least 7 feet tall, before it lumbered back into the woods. The Harrison family's story quickly made its way through the small town. Soon, local newspapers picked up the story, dubbing the creature Momo, short for the Missouri Monster. What made this case different from other Bigfoot sightings was the overwhelming interest it generated. Within days, hordes of locals, armed with cameras and flashlights, descended on Marzoff Hill, hoping to catch a glimpse of the monster. Even the police got involved, combing the area for signs of the creature. They found large, 3-toed footprints measuring about 10 inches long. But more bizarre than the footprints were the reports of a nauseating smell that seemed to follow Momo wherever it went. Locals described it as a mix of sulfur, decaying flesh, and sewage. Imagine encountering a creature that smells worse than a garbage dump on a hot summer day. No wonder people stayed on edge. Here's where the story takes a turn. Some Momo sightings coincided with reports of strange lights in the sky. Yep, UFOs. This connection isn't unique to Momo. Many cryptid stories, from Bigfoot to the Mothman, are tied to UFO sightings. Could Momo be something extraterrestrial? Witnesses describe the creature as otherworldly, with its glowing eyes and unearthly smell. Could it be a visitor from another planet? Or even another dimension? Adding to the mystery, some people claim to hear eerie sounds at night. Unearthly howls, guttural growls, and even strange clicking noises. Was Momo trying to communicate? Or was it just a territorial warning? Of course, not everyone bought into the idea of a hairy monster roaming the woods. Skeptics argue that the sightings could be attributed to bears. Black bears, while not common in Missouri at the time, had been spotted in the area. And let's face it, a bear standing on its hind legs could easily look monstrous in the right conditions. Others believe Momo was an elaborate hoax. It wouldn't be the first time locals spiced up a story to grab media attention. But if that's the case, who left those 3-toed footprints? Then there's the psychological angle. Could Momo be a case of mass hysteria? When a community shares a fear, or an excitement, about something unknown, our brains can sometimes fill in the blanks. But here's the thing. Sightings of Momo didn't stop in 1972. Reports have trickled in over the years from hunters, hikers, and campers who claim to have encountered the monster, or at least smelled it. Momo may not dominate the headlines like it did in the 70s, but it hasn't faded into obscurity. Recent sightings, though less frequent, keep the legend alive. For example, in the early 2000s, a group of hunters claimed they saw a large, hairy figure near a campsite along the Mississippi River. They described the same glowing eyes and overpowering stench. Momo has also become a cultural icon in Missouri. There are books, documentaries, and even an indie horror movie based on the legend. In Louisiana, Missouri, you'll find locals who proudly share their connection to the creature. But is Momo just a tale to boost tourism and campfire stories? Or is it something we've yet to understand? Let's zoom out a bit. Momo isn't the only cryptid with a striking resemblance to Bigfoot. Across the U.S., there are dozens of regional variations: the skunk ape in Florida, the Fouke monster in Arkansas, and the grass man in Ohio, to name a few. What sets Momo apart is its aura of mystery. Its glowing eyes and supernatural elements make it feel like something out of an H.P. Lovecraft story. Could these creatures be part of the same species? Or are they entirely unique phenomena tied to the land they inhabit? So, what do we make of Momo, the Missouri monster? Is it a flesh and blood creature, an interdimensional visitor, or just an overblown myth? Here's what we know. Momo represents the unknown. It's a reminder that the world is full of mysteries, some we can explain, and others that leave us with more questions than answers. Whether you're a believer or a skeptic, stories like Momo's capture our imaginations. They challenge us to look a little closer at the shadows in the woods and ask, what if? Thanks for joining me on this deep dive into the legend of Momo. If you've had your own cryptid encounter or have a theory about the Missouri monster, I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, stay curious, stay skeptical, and remember, sometimes the truth is stranger than fiction.